we always believed in Joe Pyfer, and he was very much back on track on Saturday. First round knockout of Marc-Andre Barriault. All it took was about 85 seconds. And he looked fantastic, and he looked freaking jacked, and he got the performance bonus as well. Here he is, Joe Pyfer. Yeah. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, my man. What's up, Barriault?
Congratulations.
How are you? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on again and being a good sport team. And I appreciate it, man. I'm excited.
Of course. After what happened in February, a Monday after a win like that must feel extra sweet, right?
Nah, man, no. There's really no high from this one.
Really?
Yeah, there's really no high from this one. I think I got it all out in the cage. I was very frustrated and angry and non-fulfilled. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was ready to go, and I was upset. So, I basically was supposed to have a direct flight home, and I went from Vegas to Chicago in 3.5 hours, and then sat on a plane for 10 hours just to have my flight canceled. And then I just got back an hour and a half ago from a 12-hour drive. I said, fuck it. And I drove all the way home, and I just got back.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was, and all my luggage is still on the other fucking plane. So it was a shitty drive home, but I'm home, and that's all I care about. I just wanted to go home. And yeah, so that kind of tainted it a little bit. The traveling was very frustrating, but it is what it is.
Okay, well, first of all, I thank you for not canceling. I would have understood if you wanted to cancel after all of that. So thank you very much for doing this under those circumstances. Where did you drive from? 12 hours. Where'd you come from?
Chicago.
Shit.
Chicago, Harrow, I think the airport is.
O'Hare.
Harrow Airport, all the way up to, O'Hara. Yeah, drove all the way from there back to Jersey.
Holy crap, because you just couldn't get home.
I wasn't willing to wait. Like they canceled my flight, and they said it wasn't going to be until 9 a.m. the next morning, which was fair. But then it said 9:30, 10:30, 11, 12. And I was just like, yeah, it's just going to keep doing that. And the reason was because Philadelphia airport was holding like grounds or something like that with like the weather, and they weren't allowing people to come in. So we just basically sat on a plane for 10 hours, and my claustrophobicness like kicked in, claustrophobia. And I was like, bro, I'm not sitting on this fucking plane no more. I haven't showered. I don't have any of my clothes. They won't let me get my luggage. Like, I'm getting a rental car. So I went to Walmart, got blankets, got pillows, got some waters. And yeah, me and the Kaka family hiked it all the way up back to Jersey.
Wow. So is that why the buzz isn't there?
Yeah, I think I haven't slept in a long time. So yeah, I think it's that. But nah, man, I recognized it. I think that has a little bit to do with it. But I really have. I don't know what it is. I'm just not as. I think I'm so disgusted with like the MMA fans that there's really no joy in it for me now. I just feel like a lot of people are all fake now. So after getting shit on because I came up short in a decision, I just don't have that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just being honest. I just don't know. I actually don't know. So I actually was talking to my coach about it because there really is no high for me. I'm excited and I'm proud of myself. It was a stellar performance, and I made the most money I've ever made in my career. And that is what I'm super happy about. And I'm super happy that I could put a smile on all my team's faces and rest their anxieties of whether or not I was showing up mentally. You know, I had an allergic reaction right before the fight, and yeah, so I'm just glad that we had a good weekend, and God's plan was to favor me. So that's what I'm happy about.
And I want to ask you about that in particular, the allergic reaction. But you fought Jack Hermansson, man. Like that is one of the best middleweights on the planet. Why are you listening to anyone say anything about you and robbing you of the joy that you should be having right now?
I think because it was my first, they're not robbing me. That experience isn't robbing me of my joy now. I think I just understand what the MMA community is. And for the fans that are good, they make it worth it. And for the fans that are bad, they make fighters detached from the interactions of being nice to fans and shit like that. I always will be nice as long as they're nice. I think I'm a nice guy. Besides that, I guess like interaction wise, I don't think I ever like cause a problem just because. But yeah, no, I think it was just, Jack's a good dude, and I'm honored that I got to fight him. And I wish I got to fight him, obviously, under different circumstances where I wasn't as sick as I was, and just juggling so many things. Like I had just recovered from my I just got stem cells in my shoulder, and I took that fight, and I told them it was a little too soon, but it was a new contract, a new fight, and it was like you couldn't say no. The money I got offered from my first contract to my first real contract, they took care of me. It was like I couldn't say no. Even in losing, I was making more than if I had won and bonus on my general contract. So it was like, and I really did believe, aside from that, I really did believe, even with a shitty camp. I only made it, basically, put it this way, I only made it out of 8 weeks. I only made it through 2 sessions where I went 5-5s. And I still fought 5 rounds. So I wasn't even sure I was able to go 5 rounds. I just believed I could knock him out. And that's why I kind of went out in like a singular fashion. And yeah, I guess. But everybody kind of said I got fraud checked, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, man. I think fraud check is I go out there and I fight the number 10 guy in the world on my 4th fight in the UFC, unranked, and go 5 rounds with him, and was winning early and showing that I was the better boxer until I couldn't keep the same pace and I got hit in the eye, couldn't see the guy for the rest of the fight. And, credit to him. It's because he caused damage. He hit me in the eye. It was a legal shot. And then he started doing his veteran skills with investing in that calf kick. 5th round, it was 2-2. I come out, I felt like I was going to start getting my momentum, like I was trying to dig. And then he took me down. He switched it up. So, but my point is, Ariel, through this whole long explanation, is just everybody fucking shit on me and said that I got fraud checked and Salty Man Joe and all this shit. And I was like, yo, it's fair. I deserve this, right? Because I've now got both ends of the stick. And damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I took a risk, and it wasn't the smartest risk given the circumstances, but I'm proud of my performance. And I just had to learn that hate is something that's always going to come in the sport, no matter how successful we are. And it will come at a brutal cost of your mental health if you don't learn to detach people that don't matter's opinions.
What was the aftermath like? Like, did you take a break from training? Did you feel like you needed to take a break?
I didn't train for 2 months.
Wow.
I didn't train for 2 months. I didn't lift a weight. I didn't train. I was sick of it. I was honestly, I was disgusted with the sport. I was disgusted with myself. I was disappointed in myself. Like, I hated it. It hurt. It sucked. I was upset. I hold myself to a high standard, and I was never discouraged. Like, oh, I'm not going to come back. But I knew I was burnt out. I was warped. I was burnt out. And part of it was being as sick as I was. I had the worst illness I had ever had. I was sick from December 22nd until January 21st. I was sick on Joe Rogan. I was sick when Lars Sanko was there the week before Joe Rogan. I was sick when the UFC was out here. I had no voice. Like, I just kept coughing up blood and phlegm the whole camp. Even when Brendan Allen was out here, you know what I mean? So I know it sounds like excuses, and they are, I guess, reasons to me and excuses to everyone else. But I wasn't 100%, man. But I went out there, and I still showed that no matter how many interviews, no matter how many people, put an expectation on me, it doesn't mean shit to me. I'm still going to go out there. I can eat that pressure and still perform. And I think I did a hell of a job with what I had to work with, despite my coaches not even wanting me to take the fight and pull me from it because they didn't think I was healthy enough.
What was wrong with you?
I tore my shoulder in half. When I broke the punching record for Francis Ngannou, I had a torn labrum. And I got in stem cells, and it agitated it. I got it in my elbow, and I got it in my shoulder, and it agitated it so bad that I couldn't even train for the first 3 weeks. And then I got sick right before Christmas, right after Sean Brady fought, was December 8th. He beat Kelvin Gastelum. I was about to go right into camp. I had like 2 weeks of training. December 22nd came, at a 4-day fever, couldn't shake it. I mean, like, man, like I literally thought like I was dying. I thought like something was seriously wrong with me. And I'm a real big anti-doctor guy, and I think that fucked me up. I stayed sick for a long time, and I still even was coughing leading up to the fight. And I don't know, I just had like I don't know if I had pneumonia, I don't know if I had bronchitis. My chest didn't hurt like I had bronchitis, but I couldn't tell you what it was. It wasn't COVID, but I was fucked up. So but poor kids got to fight, and I took the fight, and above everything else, I still believed I could beat Jack, and that's mainly why the fight happened, because I convinced everybody, and I believed with all my heart I was going to beat him.
And so that 2-month break after the fight, how did you snap out of that? Like, what was the process to get back in the gym and start loving training and getting ready for a new fight?
being away long enough to miss it, man. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and sometimes you get caught going through the motions. And I think I wasn't going through the motions, but I was in survival mode. You know, I come to find out I went and got blood testing because I truly have always thought, like, man, I have to have Lyme's disease or something, or I'm sick, or maybe I had cancer. Like at one point, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I'm always hurt. I'm always injured. I'm like, and come to find out my deficiency in my carbs and my diet was so severe that it was like they were concerned about my health. Like I could have killed myself with how hard I was pushing and how little I was able to replenish. And, you know, I was really like proteins, the building of everything. And I just had it backwards, man. I just had it backwards. So it's a miracle that I've been able to do what I've done, the way I've done it, with the immature approach to my nutrition that I've had. I've always eaten clean, but I've never eaten the right things at the right times that fuel the practices that I do. And so I started working with Glenn at the UFC a lot more. I got my blood results. My testosterone was fucking terrible. Like my sleep was terrible. My cortisol was like basically non-existent, which is, you know, you need to have a cortisol level to have some type of response in a positive way. And bro, just my whole life was fucked up. And so, you know, Jack gave me the key to success by handing me my first loss in the UFC. And through all the excuses and all the things that I just said that everybody's going to fucking clickbait or whatever, it was the best thing that happened to me losing to him. And I don't look at it as a bad loss or a loss whatsoever. I didn't get dropped. I didn't get knocked the fuck out, and I didn't get submitted. So I lost the decision, but I learned more than I ever could have lost.
Before what happened with the allergic reaction, like just fight week, the build up to the fight, how was the body? How are you feeling mentally and physically?
Yeah, so for this one, man, I was feeling physically like great. I always, I'm not going to say what I had, but I always had some type of injury. And well, actually, I could say it. Like I hurt my back, and I had fucked up my sciatic nerve, so I wasn't even able to like grapple that much. I couldn't even lift. I couldn't squat. I couldn't lift. I couldn't even sit. I still can't, kind of. If I just sit at a 90-degree and try to put my right leg down and just lift my left leg up, the sciatic nerve is crazy. So luckily, I got through this fight and I didn't take any damage, so I can get that fixed. We're trying to get it fixed with more PT. But yeah, body was feeling good. Mind was feeling good. And weight was coming off pretty well. I had a pretty tough cut. Once I got down below like 93, it was really tough. And then I hydrated up really good. I got back up to 208 by the time I faced off with him, and I felt good. I felt like I still had room to put on weight, but I didn't want to get too big. Go to do my morning shakeout the day of the fight, and I'm like cold and I'm like shivering, and then I'm like super quiet. Usually I'm like dancing and have a good time, put on music, like I'm very talkative. I'm very vocal, you know, with my coaches, and just, you know, keep them calm too, and let them know that I'm present and I'm there. And I didn't say a fucking word, like nothing. I wasn't talking at all. And I was like like freaked out. I was like panicked. I knew something was wrong with me. My face was like beet red. I started having like almost like a phlegm wheeze in my chest. I was like, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I started getting these blotches all over my skin. I'll send you the text message. I'll text the pictures to you. And yeah, it freaked me out, man. So I did my shakeout, finished it. And then I was just sitting there and I was just like blank. I didn't want to talk, no nothing. And yeah, so I called Jeff Nowitzki and I was like, brother, I was like, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Like I'm about to fucking like die. And he was like, I said, what can I take? Can I take Benadryl? And he said I could. And so I took the Benadryl, and I took Pepsid AC, and then I took Claritin non-drowsy, and went to sleep for like 2-3 hours, and woke up basically to just hop on the car and go right to the arena and go fight.
Fuck.
So it cleared up enough.
And what was the allergic reaction from?
Flaxseed. Yeah, flaxseed. It was in my oatmeal.
Damn. So
I didn't realize. So I bought the I usually do the Kodak, and it doesn't have flaxseed in it. But I did. I think it was called Red Mill, and it was oatmeal. And I was doing it for the carbs, and fucking, I like oatmeal, and yeah, I guess whatever flavor I got had flaxseed in it, and then fucking, I had too much of it. Like usually I can handle a little dose of it, like I can get away with it, but yeah, I ate something with flaxseed and almost fucked up the whole thing.
And you know that you're allergic to this. This has happened before?
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't read the label. I've never had this brand of oatmeal, so
okay.
I just didn't read the label. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even looking. I was just eating. So mistake on my part.
And when you woke up to jump into the van or car or whatever to get to the arena, how were you feeling in that moment? Were you freaking out?
I'm still had chills. Yeah, I was nervous as fuck. I was nervous. Yeah, I was very nervous, and my stomach was very upset. So I felt like I had to shit the whole time, and I was like, bro, like, can this happen at it? Like, I was just like, man, I just kept, you know, thinking like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And then when it finally hit me, it was like, yo, it's got to be the oatmeal. It's got to be like, I was like, it didn't help me. You know what I mean? So, but by the time I got to the arena, I don't know what it is, man. But by the time I got there, I like got calm, and then my skin was fine. I still had the chills. My skin was fine. And but then that tightness in my chest finally like released after like 30 minutes of being there. So then I started trying to get a sweat because I was like, I need to get rid of this fucking jittery feeling. And yeah, I got myself under control. I felt good. I felt locked in. I didn't feel the best, but I felt focused. And I'll take not feeling the best for being focused. No, so we made do with what we had, man.
It's crazy that you were going through all that, you were feeling that way, and you performed like that. That was an unbelievable knockout. I thought that was like the best you ever looked. And you also looked strong and you looked huge. Like there's a photo that we have of you in your traps. Like you look like freaking Bill Goldberg, circa like this photo right here. I don't know if you could see it. You look like a WCW wrestler in 1999. You look gigantic. And so
I can't see it, but that's because Ariel, like when I fought Jack, I was sick. So I was already walking into fight week, which is unheard of for me, at like 200 pounds, 198 pounds. So I lost you. I only see a black screen right now, but
oh, you see me now?
I do not.
Well, we still see you, so it's all good.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think it's because we're
I
trying to
walked
show you
into
the pictures, but it's all good, guys. It's all good.
but I walked into that fight week at 198, 200 pounds, man. And I usually walk into my fight weeks at 210, 208. So I think that's why I looked like I was big again. But I wasn't that big against Jack. So yeah, man, it is what it is, right? Like I can't cry over spilled milk, and I'm giving you the reasons as to why things have happened and why they transpired the way they did. I know you understand this. The critics that'll watch this, or the fans that fucking suck dick and don't understand, like they'll say it's all crybaby Joe, salty man Joe, whatever, and I'm cool with that. Like I hope they roast me, but yeah, I mean these are the reasons that I've made the changes I have. And the things that I've learned is like, fuck, man, like don't gamble with this business. It wasn't worth it. It ruined the momentum that I had. And but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's gonna happen when you take a risk, and I took a risk and it failed.
The momentum is right back where it was in December.
Like I said it would.
100%. It's right back there and then some. That was incredible. And then the feeling afterwards, can you describe that? You were all fired up, yelling, pumped up. The knockout was beautiful. Can you describe what that feeling was like?
Yeah, man. I just felt like as soon as he fell, first of all, as soon as I hit him clean, I was like, I know where this is going. I knew he was worried about that shot. I knew from the get-go, the second he let me kick him and he didn't return nothing. And I was stalking him and he didn't return nothing, because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to bait him to throw at me. I really wanted him to throw at me because I like to counter. And I wanted to show, it's like, yeah, like I'm ready for the counter this time. I wasn't ready last time. I'm going to show you guys, like, this is where I do good. And he was talking about, everybody kept talking about his durability and power bar, like, and all this, all this stuff about Mark. And I'm not going to, I like Mark. He's a good fucking human being. So, and I'm happy I got to talk to him outside of the fight, and just like the things that he does in life, that's another story. But yeah, man, I knew when I was in there, and I just knew I was gonna run through him, man. I don't know, something like, I felt the presence, man. I have a presence in there. I'm telling you, when I'm on and I'm focused and people feel it, like it's a presence. It's like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to cause damage, and I'm throwing heat. So you can't afford to get clipped by me, and I showed that for sure.
You spoke to him after the fight?
Yeah. I just told him that he's fighting, win or lose, doesn't define who you are, how you impact people. And you've he's done so much for like men's mental health, and I told him he's a good human being for that, and don't ever hang your head low or feel less of yourself because of a result in the cage. And that's what I told him. But to answer your question about how I felt angry, I felt happy, I felt like, there you go, motherfuckers. Like, here's your salt bang, motherfucker. Like, here's all you jerk offs that sat there and talked shit on me and fucking harassed me for months, thinking you're harassing me for months. While I just sat there, I kept quiet. I didn't do one single interview for this fight. I didn't do anything unless it was UFC mandatory. And I kept my mouth shut for the most part until I got to fight week. And I said I wouldn't have much to say until I whooped his ass, and then I would talk my shit, and I did. And then I called out that fucking back princess, Paul Craig, who seems to have accepted the fight. So we'll see if he's got his balls in his mouth this time.
Okay, yes, I saw his tweet. I saw you saying that you want to fight him and that you just don't like his face, I guess. What is the issue there?
Yeah, you know, like I think it's like I'm a petty. I guess I'm petty. I don't know. Like I was at UFC Boston with Sean, and I like walked by him and like we looked at each other and he didn't give a head nod. He didn't acknowledge me at all. Like there was no like respect, and he just seemed like he was that hard douchebag, like fucking he's a killer type vibe. I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And then I tried to, respectfully like get that fight after he fought Brendan Allen because he was in the top 15 or whatever. And then obviously I wound up taking the fight against Jack. And he like blew it off. And then I don't know. I just don't like his antics. He's always in people's faces, painting his fucking face like a Smurf. And then second he gets slapped up, he lays on his back and he starts asshole scooting across the mat. And I don't respect it, bro. He fights like a bitch. So, and I also think that there's, I want to fight somebody I don't like. And for whatever reason, the guy fucking irks me. I don't know. I don't like people that sit there and pretend that they're about that life. And then when you get tagged up, you fall to the ground. So, I don't know. And maybe he's never done anything to me and I'm making this more than it is, which I think I am. But I don't give a fuck. I don't like him and I want to fight him. Well, this is a hurt business, right? People don't like me. They want to talk shit on me. I'm going to talk shit on people I get to punch in the face for money. So.
You would prefer to fight people you don't like that bring this out in you.
100%. And since he said he's accepting, I see no reason aside from the fact that I don't like him. I'm not stupid. People are like, oh, that's a weak call. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's on a 2-fight losing streak to 2 ranked people. So he lost to Brendan Allen. He lost to Kyle Barriault. They're both very good. And he was in the rankings for those 2 losses. And he was number 14 when he lost to Kyle. And I was it doesn't even matter what number I am, but I think I was 19 before I beat Barriault. And why not? It makes sense. He's beat Ankalaev. He's beat Jamal Hill. And just because I don't like him doesn't mean I don't respect him as a fighter. I don't like his style. I think he's a bitch the way he fights, but you can't deny that the guy has beat Jamal Hill. He has beat Ankalaev. He is a threat. He could catch something and break my arm, right? But I just don't think it's going to happen. And I think it's an exciting fight because I have some animosity towards him for whatever reason. I think it builds the fight too. So let's build it.
How soon would you like for this to happen? How soon do you want to get back in there?
I'll run it with that motherfucker anytime.
Wow. Okay.
I'll run it with anytime. I don't know. I feel like he'll bring out a certain fucking bad person in me. So I don't know why I think it's just because I had a bad day today too with all the travel. Like, yeah, he can get that shit whenever.
And by the way, this might be a whole new you because of your new hair. I saw you at the post-fight. I saw you at the thing. I was like, something looks different about Joe. And then I saw on your social media, you went to Turkey.
That straight-ass hairline looking like a bowl cut, boy.
You did the turkey thing.
Yeah, I did the turkey thing, man. So I was like, it's only 3 months in, so it still looks like the skin is like fucked up and red, which it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time I fight, I would like to fight in the fall. If it lines up with him well, and he's about it and he's healthy. Obviously I want him to be healthy, even though, I won't be the guy's friend. I want him to be healthy. I want him, to be prepared and we put on a good show. So I think that's what we will do. I think that's going to happen. That's what I want to happen. And it seems like he does too. So I got his attention now. But yeah, this is only 3 months in. It's going to take a good year for me to actually look like a Donald Cerrone or, they all went to the same place. Donald Cowboy Cerrone went there. Eric Nixick went there. Thiago Alves went there. So it should be a good thing.
Did it hurt?
If I'm being honest, I haven't done any of what I'm supposed to.
Oh.
I'm not even supposed to have my hair cut, but I really did it because my coach got it for free too. So I told him I would go.
Did it hurt?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, it hurt. I would never do it again.
Really? So they're freaking. They put the stuff in.
That shit hurts, bro.
It looks like I saw one dude. This like, I don't know how I got in these. I went to this rabbit hole and there was a huge bodybuilder guy who showed the whole video of him getting it done, and it looked fucking painful. And then he was showing the blood, like there were like little blood things on the day, and he couldn't. And he went on a plane, and his head started getting swollen and shit. Did all that happen to you?
Yeah.
It looked awful.
Yeah, dude. That shit hurts, bro. By the time we got off, I looked like I had like a baked piece of bread around my head. My shit was bulging. I looked like some alien head shit, cocoon. I don't know what the hell it was, but. And you got this big ass diaper on your fucking head. You got to sleep at a 90-degree angle because your head will bleed. Ah, man, it was traumatizing for me. I'm not gonna lie. But I will say this: super professional, super what the fuck's the word I'm looking for?
Accommodating?
Like an accommodation. Yeah. I guess however you would say that. They were super hospitable. They flew us business class. Like, man, you couldn't ask for better people to do the job and make you feel comfortable. Because I was a little freaked out. I don't like going overseas. But man, those guys at Now Hair Time were awesome. And even though I personally didn't care about my hair that much, I was like, fuck it, why not? And my coach got to get some hair too. So we both debuted our hairlines.
I love it. Well, you look good out there, man. Congrats on the win. I hope you can get some rest now. I hope you can chill out. And thank you for doing this after all of that. It was a pretty gnarly day up here in the Northeast, all the thunder and lightning and all that shit. So I'm sorry that you went through that, but probably better to go through all of that after a knockout win as opposed to, right?
Yes.
A little
I
more.
actually enjoyed the drive for the most part. It's just I had some other things happen in my personal life that just pissed me off. And but yeah, no, I have no reason to. I am happy. I'm relieved. I'm just not like I don't have that high. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for the win, and you know, God's plan favored me, and that's just how I feel. And yeah, I don't want to be up that high because it's hard to come back down and be at reality. So I'm kind of grateful that I'm just even. I'm good with it. You know, it happened. It was a good knockout. It's great for my history and my record. And yeah, that's it.
And fuck the haters, man. Fuck them.
Fuck the haters, man.
That's
Getting
right.
yacked. I'm gonna fucking go on vacation. Fuck Paul Craig. He's a turd. I hope we fight. And I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna get fucking yoked, and then I'll prepare to fight him.
Well done. Thank you, Joe. All the best. Congrats.
Thank you, Ariel.
Great to talk to
you
you,
guys.
Man. There he is, Joe Pyfer, the new look Joe Pyfer. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.